So, Section 8, hiring of graduates of science, mathematics, statistics, engineering, and other specialists in subjects with the certificates of qualified applicants, technical vocational courses, and higher education institution faculty. So, it means that they are hiring of graduates of science, mathematics, statistics, engineering, and other specialists in subjects with the lack of qualified applicant. Notwithstanding the provisions of Section 26, 27, and 28 of Republic Act No. 7836, otherwise known as the Philippine Teachers Professionalization Act of 1994. The DepEd in private education institution shall hire as may be relevant to the particular subject. So, Philippine Teachers Professionalization Act of 1994 means that if you are not a licensed professional teacher, you are not able to teach in public schools, but otherwise than that, the private and public school still hire the teachers who were non-licensed professional teachers if they are having their relevant particular subject to teach on. Okay, moving on. So, graduate of science, mathematics, statistics, engineering, music, and other degree courses with shortages and qualified licensure examination for teachers or LET, applicants to teach in their specialized subjects in the elementary and secondary education. Qualified LET applicants shall also include graduates admitted by foundation duly recognized for their expertise in the education sector and who satisfactorily complete the requirements set by these organizations, provided that they pass the LET within 5 years after their date of hiring. Provided, further, that if such graduates are willing to teach on part-time basis, the provisions of LET shall no longer be required. They can be hired those who are experts in science, statistics, engineering, music, and other degree courses. But they can teach in basic education program even though they are not licensed professional teachers yet. But they have to pass the LET within 5 years after the date of hiring. They have to earn the education units to be able to take the LET. But if they are willing to teach in part-time basis, they don't need LET. Graduates of technical vocational courses teach in their special subject in the secondary education, provided that these graduates possess the necessary certification issued by the TESDA, provided further that they undergo appropriate in-service training to be administered by the DepEd or higher education institution at the expense of the DepEd. So, it means that the graduates of technical vocational course can teach in their specialized subjects in secondary education, especially in ICT, industrial arts, or etc. But they have to provide their application and TESDA or undergo appropriate in-service training that were administered by DepEd or higher education institution. So, faculty of higher education institution be allowed to teach in their general education or subject in a secondary education, provided that the faculty must be a holder of a relevant bachelor's degree and must have satisfactorily served as a full-time HE faculty. So, the professor from higher education institution can still teach in senior high school programs or high school programs. With that, they must be a holder of bachelor's degree and must be a full-time higher education institution faculty. The DepEd and private education institutions may hire practitioners with expertise in the specialized learning areas offered by the basic education curriculum to teach in the secondary level, provided that they teach on part-time basis only. For this purpose, the DepEd in coordination with the appropriate government agency shall determine the necessary qualification standards in hiring these experts. So, the DepEd and the private institution can hire professionals who were good in their specialized learning that were offered by the basic education curriculum, in condition that it was only a part-time basis. With that, together with the cooperation of the DepEd and appropriate government agencies, they shall determine the necessary qualification standards in hiring those experts. Okay, Section 9, Career Guidance and Counseling Advocacy. To properly guide the students in choosing the career tracks that they intend to pursue, the DepEd, in coordination with the DOLE, TISDA, and the CHED, shall regularly conduct career advocacy activities for secondary level students. Notwithstanding the provisions of Section 27 of the Republic Act Number 9258, otherwise known as the Guidance and Counseling Act of 2004, career and employment guidance counselors, who are not registered and licensed guidance counselors, shall be allowed to conduct career advocacy activities to secondary level students of the school where they are currently employed, provided that they undergo a training program to be developed or accredited by the DepEd. Well, it just simply states that the DepEd, together with the DOLE, TASDA, and CHED, they are conducting the career guidance program. Because it happens that when the child reaches the college, they don't know what course to take. So that's why, as early as basic education, DepEd provide the career guidance and counseling advocacy. They would gonna ask questions to the children what they want when they grow up, to help them clear their minds to make them certain on the course they will pursue in college. Okay, Section 10. Expansion of e-GASP beneficiaries. The benefits accorded by Republic Act Number 8545, or the Expanded Government Assistance to Students and Teachers in Private Education Act, shall be extended to qualified students enrolled under the Enhanced Basic Education. The private school still receives the subsidy from the government. Because of this, RA number 8545, or the Expanded Government Assistance to Students and Teachers in Private Education Act, the DepEd still pays for the tuition fee of the children of the private schools. The DepEd shall engage the services of private education institutions and non-DepEd schools offering senior high school through the programs under Republic Act Number 8545 and other financial arrangements formulated by the DepEd in the Department of Budget and Management, or DBM, based on the principles of public-private partnership. So as I said earlier, the DepEd shall pay the private education institution through the voucher program of DepEd. Section 11. Appropriations. The Secretary of Education shall include in the department's program the operationalization of the Enhanced Basic Education Program, the initial funding of which shall be charged against the current appropriations of the DepEd. Thereafter, the amount necessary for the continued implementation of the Enhanced Basic Education Program shall be included in the Annual General Appropriations Act. So every year, we are allocating a very huge amount for education. The CHED prioritizes a higher budget for education in the Philippines. If I'm not mistaken, the 2020 budget was 12% higher than 2019. Section 12. Transitory Provisions. The DepEd, the CHED, and the TASDA shall formulate the appropriate strategies and mechanisms needed to ensure smooth transition from the existing 10 years basic education cycle to the enhanced basic education cycle. The strategies may cover changes in physical infrastructure, manpower, organizational and structural concerns, bridging models linking grade 10 competencies and the entry requirements of new tertiary curricula, and partnerships between the government and other entities. Modeling for senior high school may be implemented in selected schools to simulate the transition process and provide concrete data for transition plan. So all we know, we have transitions because of course there is 2 years added in basic education. Transitory provisions ensure transitions from old curriculum to new curriculum. So how they do that? They provide opportunities for those teachers who were transmitted to their positions. They give scholarships to study or to go for advanced study and conduct research activities provided by the organization or funded by the organization. Okay, Section 13. Joint Congressional Oversight Committee on the Enhanced Basic Educational Program, or K-12 program. This is hereby created a joint oversight committee to oversee, monitor, and evaluate the implementation of this act. Okay, this joint Congressional Oversight Committee on the Enhanced Basic Educational Program is created to observe, determine, and watch the enhance basic educational program. The Oversight Committee shall be composed of 5 members, each from the Senate and from the House of Representatives, including chairs of the Committees on Education, Arts and Culture, and Finance of both houses. The membership of the committee for every house shall have at least 2 opposition or minority members. So, meaning, the Oversight Committee should create 5 members from the Senate and from the House of Representatives, which includes the following: Chair of the Committees on Education, Arts and Culture, and Finance of both houses. Okay, and the membership of this committee for every house shall have at least 2 opposition or minority members. So I guess that would be all for the section 8 to 13, and Miss Cuevas will gonna continue for the section 14 and so on.